well, you have to leave my house. So basically, I got kicked out. Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I am Elijah J. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, so recently I asked y'all on Twitter, what did y'all want a video on? And y'all said a story time. The story time today is just gonna be about me, my past life, you know, how I dealt with like bullying and all that good junk. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification. That way you will be notified every time I upload a video. Trust me, you don't want to miss anything that I post because I'm gonna try my best to post stuff for y'all. Stuff that's gonna be entertaining. That's why I'm here, to entertain you. Okay, follow me on my social media. It will be in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start elementary school. Elementary school, I was not that cool kid on the block, you know. I was a normal kid. I was a normal little elementary little kid, you know. I had friends, if you could say so. You know, I talked to majority of everyone. I didn't really have a specific type of group that I talked to. It was just, if you respected me, I respect you, and that's how I am now. I respect you as a person, but don't be on no fake-ish. I'm not about that life. So anyways, you know, yes, I was teased a lot in elementary school, mostly for being darker. I went to a predominantly white, I think that's how you say the word. Basically, the school was basically white. Yeah, I went to elementary school at Asheville Elementary. Well, yeah, I went to elementary in Asheville. And, you know, I was teased a lot. It didn't, I mean, it bothered me, but I tried to look past it because I didn't want to. At that young age, I was mature for my age because I always hung around my granddaddy. He would basically give me advice on how to deal with certain situations. So I was a mature little young man. I was a young man in elementary school. So the friends that I did have, they were mostly my cousins. They were older than me. They were like 2 grades older than me, so I hung around them all the time. So I was mature for my age. Okay. I got teased. I got teased for being dark skin. I really didn't love myself. I wanted to be white at that age. Because of the people that I was surrounded by a whole bunch of Caucasian people. So I wanted to be white. Y'all, I thought drinking white milk was gonna turn me white. Yeah, it was that deep. Moving on to middle school, 5th through 8th. This is where it started to get worse. I was bullied all of elementary school, you know. Middle school came by, and that's where, you know, like you start going through puberty, different things start happening to your hormones. Middle school came. And I was like, I've always been a skinny person. I've never been like the big type. I mean, I've always been toned. Like, I've always had like a muscle definition to myself, but nothing extravagant. I was teased a lot for my size. I got called malnourished. I didn't eat. I got called anorexic because of how tiny I was. I was really, really small. And in my eyes, I thought that I didn't think that. Like, I knew I was skinny, but in my mind, I was big. Turned into a dyslexic person. Plus, by me being teased a lot, I didn't eat. Like, I would go like a couple of days without eating. And wow, I did not expect to get emotional. Hold on, because I do not cry. Wait a minute. I didn't eat like that. Like, there would be some days where I wouldn't eat lunch, and teachers, they would be like, are you not gonna eat? And I was like, no, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I had snack earlier. That resulted in me falling into like a deep, deep depression. By 7th grade, it wasn't just at school, like at home. Like, it was really hard for me to talk to my mom. Like, my mom, she was a single parent. She had two kids at this time. It was really hard for me to talk to her about this stuff. I was taught that showing your emotions made you weak. By me having that program into my mind, I always stayed smiling. I hid my emotion behind a smile. I was like a class clown. And like, I think that's most of the reasons why I started to act out in middle school. All through elementary school, I was on like the A honor roll. When this middle school started, that's when my grades started like going down. That had something to do with it. Looking back on it now, it really did hurt. I really didn't have no one to talk to. I didn't have a father in my life at all. My granddad, he was like the closest thing to my father. The guy that my mom was married to was abusive, verbally. I felt alone. I felt like nobody loved me, to be honest. In my mind, I was alone in this world. I started to feel like, then why am I here? Should I really be on this earth? Like, what's the point of me being here if no one's gonna listen to me, if no one's going to love me? So, suicidal thoughts started to happen. And on some occasions, I would, try to slit my wrist. I would try to drown myself in the bathtub. I would try to hang myself in the closet with like belts, but every single time that I tried, it would seem like it would always fail. It made me mad that I couldn't do anything about it, and I just felt alone. I didn't think, I really didn't have anyone to turn to. So eventually my mom, we moved. This was a whole game changer. Like, I've been going to school with all my little Caucasian friends, and now I'm going to a school where there's mostly black people. I dress not like the typical black person or hood type. As like everyone there, they were wearing polo. One day, my aunt had bought me some skinny jeans. I wore skinny jeans to school. I got called a fag, gay boy, that was my nickname. Going to that school, like my depression got worse, and that resulted in me trying to kill myself more. And again, I didn't talk to my mom. My mom didn't know anything about it. And so one day I was at home, and I tried to kill myself. I tried to hang myself. I was on the floor. This is what my mom told me. I was on the floor, unconscious. And when I woke up, I was in the hospital. I was not gonna tell them that I tried to kill myself. I had lost oxygen in my brain. And so they did like a spinal tap or whatever. Like every single test you could think of, they ran it and couldn't find anything. I was still going to that school, still getting bullied, After a while, it sort of died down, but not really. I went there. I moved to that school the second semester of 7th grade and half of 8th grade. So 8th grade came around. I was in the band. I love music. I played the sousaphone, the tuba, and I had fun with it. Music was my escape from everything that I was going through. Like, I love to sing. I was singing every day because that was my relief. So 8th grade came around, still getting bullied, whatever, not as heavy, but I then ended up moving to Rainbow Middle. It was another predominantly white school, but it was still a new school, so I didn't know anyone. I probably knew like 2 people. I wouldn't say that I wasn't being bullied. Like, I started to like get comfortable with myself. I still wasn't comfortable with me being black. I still wanted to be white. I still dressed white, as you would say. But I did make friends. I met my best friend there, Jada. What it do, boo? I met my best friend. She's still my best friend today. The only best friend I have for like that long period of time. Like, we've been best friends since 8th grade. Like, we immediately hit it off. 8th grade, in middle school, I started cheering. I started playing sports. All my life, I played sports. I played baseball, basketball. I did football for like a year. I didn't like it. But I continued to play sports. So most people knew me at Asheville was because I played baseball. I didn't play for the school. I played like in like the community league. So I did that, but I didn't play in Asheville. I played in like Pell City. I did play in Asheville for like a little bit. But anyways, I love to dance. People knew me as being like the dancer of the school. Anytime there was a dance, everyone wanted me to go, even though I didn't feel like going because I didn't have a date. No one really liked me. No one wanted to go to the dance with me. So I went by myself and, you know, I would show my, like, who would not break down on Walk It Out when that song came on? Oh, I was known as the dancer all my life through school. I love to dance. I still love to dance. Like, I learned on my own how to dance. That was another escape for me for being depressed and, you know, just feeling alone. Like, I released all that tension and stress into dance. Started to cheer at Ace All-Stars. Immediately picked it up. Someone dared me to try out for the cheerleading squad. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll try out. And the cheerleading coach, they was like, since I was a boy, and so no other boys had ever tried out for the middle school squad, she was like, well, I'm gonna need a piece of paper from your mom saying that it's okay, just to make sure it's not like anything bad. I was like, Mom, I want to try out for cheerleading. She was like, okay. And I was like, well, you have to sign a piece of paper so I can take it to the coach. I ended up trying out. Y'all, I was terrible. I didn't know anything about cheerleading. I didn't know what a toe touch. I didn't know what a hurdler. I didn't know what a pike, a back handspring, round off, any of that stuff. So I went and I tried it. I did the worst round off. I ended up making the squad. And we started going to this gym called Ace for tumbling. So, and then I was watching ESPN one day. I saw Ace, one of the Ace teams on ESPN at Worlds. It was Ace Warriors. And so I was like, yo, I go to that gym. I want to try out. So I went on the website. I filled, like y'all, I was grown. I filled out the tryout application. I ended up missing the tryouts, but the owner of the gym, when we went back for cheer practice for the school squad, he was like, I seen where you want to try out. Do you still want to try? And I was like, yes. So he pulled me aside. He had this little mini tryout session with me. And he basically put me on the level 4 squad. A level 4, it was a level 4 at that time. Y'all, I didn't even have a tuck at this time. I mean, I was working on the tuck at that time, but I didn't have like a back handspring or a tuck by myself. So I ended up making the squad. I ended up quitting the school squad to join the All-Star squad. So I did the All-Star squad. They ended up bumping us down to level 3, which the highest skill for level 3 is a tuck. So I ended up having my round up back handspring tuck by myself. I had a blast with cheerleading there. I cheered for Ace for 3.5 years, I think, 3 or 3.5. We won NCAA Nationals in 2011. We got tied for first at cheer sport. I traveled. I went to Indianapolis, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Opryland, Atlanta, Destin, Florida, and we had our local competitions in Birmingham. So I had so much fun with it. I made a whole bunch of friends there. I was accepted. I was accepted. Like, I really didn't, like, we were all family. And so that was my family away from my family that I could talk to. So I cheered, I advanced super fast. But after I left, I ended up leaving the gym with like a double full twist. I had my tuck standing full, handspring full, all that good jump. So high school came. And this is where I started to get more comfortable with myself. I still wasn't comfortable in my own skin. Note that I've been struggling being happy in my own skin, being an African American male ever since basically elementary school. So almost all my life I've struggled with that. And so high school came. High school, it was rough. It was really rough because at this high school, most of the kids had money. And I was one of those that I wasn't poor, but I wasn't wealthy. I didn't have the type of money that other kids had. So I didn't have the latest phone. I didn't have the latest clothes. Like, I ended up having to buy my own clothes from Walmart, you know, jeans and graphic tees. That's all I wore through high school. And then, like, later my senior year, you know, I started to, like, you know, get more fashionable. I started to, you know, get a little bit more comfortable, but not really. So high school is rough. I end up graduating with an advanced diploma. College, I did go to college for a semester. I went to Faulkner Christian University. I did cheer in college for that semester. I don't want to say I did not like the school. The school just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, My heart and dream was to go to University of Kentucky. I wanted to cheer. I wanted to be a Wildcat. Like, ever since I started cheering, I saw them, and to see how amazing and talented those kids were, and like every single cheerleader had success after being on that squad, and that's what I want. I wanted success after my cheerleading career. That's what I wanted for myself. I made 5 amazing friends: Chloe, Victoria, Trey, and Alexandria. I still talk to Alexandria and Chloe. I love them. I love them to death. I still felt alone. Even in college with my friends, I was 2.5 hours away from home. Anytime they would go out, I was like, no, I don't want to go out. You know, I just want to stay in. I'm not feeling like the going, but y'all, college, you be broke. I'm sorry, you just be broke. Some kids, you know, they had parents to give them money. It wasn't like that in my case. So on my Christmas break, I went home and we got a letter in the mail that saying that I was put on financial aid warning. And so my parents, they basically thought that I was slacking, that I wasn't going to class, that I was just goofing off. So they pulled me out of college, and it hurt me. So a couple of months have passed, and it was like April or May, and I got a text from one of the guys that I went to college with. He texted me and he was like, Trey just passed. And I was like, what? He was like, you need to text Chloe. So I text Chloe and I was like, Chloe, what's going on? Like, what's happening? She was like, Trey was just in an accident and he died. Y'all, this broke me so hard. Like, I've never had like a close friend to me that I would talk to daily, like, die. When I got that news, it like my whole world was like just turned upside down. Like, me and him, we were like brothers. So him passing, it was hard for me. So after that, I was still working. I was working, I think, at Antiva then. After that whole college, I started to become comfortable with being an African American. I started to post more pictures of myself because I felt ugly. I really did. And I started to get comfortable in my own skin. So that was a big plus, but I was still on that. I wasn't as depressed as you would say, but I was still a little bit depressed. 2016. Rough year of my life. Let me just tell you. So in 2016, I think it was around March and April, I was talking to someone. I was talking to someone on the other side of the United States, in like California. Me and that person, we instantly hit it off. You know, everything was going good. Okay, like this part of my life, I was being a hoe. I was a real hoe. Like I was dating like 3 or 4 people at the same time. I was talking to this person and I was also talking to this other person. And I was on FaceTime with them one day. Basically, my mom had found out what I was doing and she was like, well, you have to leave my house. So basically, I got kicked out. I'm happy now. Life is great. I can actually walk around with a genuine smile on my face. So life has been good. I've been chilling. I've been working. Now I have a good job with good benefits. Come on, health insurance. Yeah, so I'm good now. Looking back, I really did go through a lot, and back when I used to think that wearing your emotions or crying, I thought that made you weak. Now I know when you show your emotions, it just means that you're strong. And for any of you that think that you're not going to make it because of depression or suicidal thoughts, trust me, it can get better. Like, you just have to keep going on. Keep God first in everything that you do. Like, if you keep God first, He will sustain you. He will keep you. He will keep you in perfect peace. I'm telling you, it's the best thing in the world. But you just can't give up. Just don't give up. Just keep on pushing. That's story time. That's just for me to let you guys know about me, of my journey from all of that until now of just pure happiness. Like, I can genuinely say I am happy with my life. I'm happy that I went through my troubles and my trials and tribulations. I'm happy for every doggone dirty ex that I done ran into, because it's made me into the man that I am now, and I'm forever grateful, and I don't regret anything in my life. I don't regret any decision, anything in my life. Better things are coming my way for this year. I'm so excited for this year. This year is gonna be a great year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up. Like I said, don't forget to just subscribe. You can follow all my social media in the description below. Everything that I said on the poll on Twitter, I'm going to do regardless. This was just a priority video that I wanted to go ahead and get out the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. And I love you. Peace out.